and all of that. Hope you're enjoying the football game on your other screen. I'm Rolly Hoyt.
And I'm Faith Woodard. It's a snowy Martin Luther King holiday in Arkansas today. Chief Meteorologist Tom Brandon joining us now.
Tom, it's cold out there. What do we know to stay safe here as we go into the night?
Well, I tell you, there's a lot of things you got to be aware of. First of all, temperatures are going to drop off close to the single digits tonight. Keep streaming those faucets first and foremost so that you don't have any pipe damage. The other thing, if you're planning on getting out, man, I just got to get out. I got to go here, there, or wherever. Wear lots of layers tonight. Our temperature is 19 in Little Rock, and it feels like 6 when you factor in that northeast wind at 14. Very cold, bitterly cold, and it's going to get a little colder tonight. Here are the statewide temperatures. It's already 8 in Harrison. They were below 0 last night. We're looking at 16 in Pine Bluff and Camden, 22 down in DeQueen. And when you factor in the wind, it does feel a lot colder out there. Little Rock, it feels like 6 above, feels like 4 below in Harrison, 1 below in Mountain Home. Skies will eventually clear out, and that will allow for temperatures to fall back a few more degrees tonight. Little Rock should bottom out somewhere around 8. 7 DeQueen, 2 below in Fayetteville, and Monticello at 12. I do want to spend some time talking about this road conditions forecast. Want to know when the roads are going to be better. Interstates are improving. Look for the main highways like Highway 10. Some improvement tomorrow with the sunshine. Certainly some good news as some of that snow will melt off. Side roads are going to have a couple of more days. They don't really get treated as much as interstates and main highways. And with that, cold temperatures, anything that melted today is going to refreeze tonight. Guys, back to you.
All right, Tom, thank you. Now, you've seen the forecast for when the roads might get better. We need to know how safe the roads are right now.
Yeah, we talked all week about how RDOT and different city leaders were preparing streets and highways for the storms. Sarah Horbakowitz is out in Weather Force 11 tonight to give you a first-hand look at those roads. Sarah?
Yeah, I know a lot of people are getting stir crazy having been in the house all day and probably all day yesterday as well and deciding, should I venture out? Well, we've seen so far that the highways are pretty good, but what you're going to want to think about is getting to those highways. So showing you right now, this is Broadway in Little Rock on the way to North Little Rock. A lot of snow all over. We're also seeing some people riding around with ATVs, some people sledding nearby, so you're going to want to really be careful and take it slow on these side roads. This isn't even necessarily a side road, but still, anything that's not a highway still could use some time. You heard Dave Parker talking about, and Tom Brandon just talking about, some of the concerns for later tonight when things freeze into black ice. So that's when you're going to need to be especially careful. So if you are needing to head out tonight, you need to get something from the grocery store. The later it gets, probably the worse it's going to get as far as ice is concerned. And again, you're going to want to look at the roads that you're driving on. If you need to mainly get just on an interstate, that might be a little safer than if you're only going by side roads. So look in here. The streets are white. They've got a layer of snow on them, and I know a lot of people have been telling me today it's a dry snow, which it is, but it's still something you're not used to driving in. You're really going to want to be careful as you're heading through it. We're going to check back in on the roads in just a little bit. I'll be driving here all night just to give you guys a look so you don't necessarily have to go out, but for now I'll send it back to you in the studio.
All right, Sarah, thank you. Stick close to that police officer there who was on the car's right. Now, as temperatures remain below freezing, the city of Lone Oak is under a water conservation order. Officials tell us the city is facing a shortage of water because of leaking pipes all over the system and people using a lot of it. All of it caused because of those freezing conditions outside. They do tell us their repairs are underway, trying to get all those leaks, but with critically low water levels, they say water coming out of faucets might have a yellowish color after a while. The Public Works Director says, though, the water is safe to drink and use. A couple other problem spots out there, Pangburn and Mountain View, asking people to conserve water in those two cities. Pangburn's got a boil water notice because of the weather impacting both the quality and of the water available. In Mountain View up north, the area is having issues drawing water into the system. By the way, for peace of mind, we reached out to Central Arkansas Water and so many customers around here. Obviously, they tell us everything is fine so far.
Well, most schools in the state were already off today before the weather got in the way, and now many schools are issuing closings for tomorrow. The North Little Rock School District will be closed tomorrow, as well as the Little Rock School District. Joining them, Jacksonville, North Pulaski Schools, and the Pine Bluff School District will also be out on Tuesday. You can see a full list of closures by looking at the bottom of your screen and visiting THV11.com.
And with schools closed today and tomorrow, many are taking advantage of the outdoors. If you choose to go out, you should know the risks that come with going out there in this weather.
Yeah, THV11's Rebecca Brown spoke to first responders today to give us a few tips of how to stay safe in the freezing temperatures.
Snowballs and snow angels are fun, but with temperatures like this in the teens, it only takes minutes for you to be at risk for either frostbite or hypothermia.
The first signs is going to be pale skin, cool, clammy. You're going to have blue around the lips. Your fingers are going to be a little red, tingly, your ears, nose, things like that.
According to Captain Chris Patton with the North Little Rock Fire Department, hypothermia occurs when your body loses heat faster than it can produce it.
You want to make sure that you have several layers of clothes on. You want to make sure that you're using scarves, toboggans, gloves, thick socks, insulated boots, things of that nature to keep your body heat in.
Patton says just in the last few days, the department has received numerous of cold-related calls.
Especially with the homeless that's, struggling to find a place. That's been quite a few of the calls.
Captain Patton says he, of course, wants everyone to enjoy the snow while it's here, but he recommends doing it in increments.
Because temperatures can drop really fast as the day goes along. You want to make sure that you take plenty of breaks, rewarm yourself inside, drink plenty of fluids, make sure that you have something to eat.
And if you see someone experiencing of any signs of hypothermia, here's what you should do: get help immediately.
If those are not caught in time, you can really go downhill real quick and go into severe hypothermia where your body's going to completely shut down. And in that case, you need to call 911, start CPR if you know CPR, and try to get some help.
In North Little Rock, Rebecca Brown, THV11 News.
And at home, you might have rock salt to keep your walkway or driveway clear, and RDOT has been preparing roads with brine. But what exactly is that brine mixture, and what does it do? It's really all about preventing ice from forming on the roads.
First, understand when water is in its liquid state, like rain. The molecules are loosely packed. Whenever water reaches the freezing point of 32 degrees or below, molecules are then packed more tightly. Now on roads, this causes a big problem. Wet, icy, and slushy roads reduce traction between your car's tires and the road's surface. So if you hit ice, your car could suddenly go into a skid, which is a scary situation. That's why we need to break up these molecules to limit ice or slush on the roads. Now, salt or brine solution does not necessarily melt ice or snow with increased heat. It merely brings the freezing point of water to a lower temperature. At the molecular level, the salt molecules get in the way of the bonding water molecules, helping it not to freeze. The regular freezing point of water is 32 degrees. Adding sodium chloride lowers that freezing point to 15 degrees, using science to make us a little safer.
All right, well, today's weather falling on a holiday has not kept kids from a snow day. As you can see by all of the alerts that are on your phone and crawling on your screen, a lot of kids have another day of fun tomorrow.
THV11's Brooke Buckner shows us how some families spent MLK Day in Little Rock.
Sounds of laughter fill the frigid air near the Clinton Presidential Library as dozens spend the Martin Luther King Jr. holiday on sleds. Or, in this case, pool inflatables and cardboard.
We have a big avocado here.
Soon to be a ruptured pool.
And a
pool
broken donut.
Yep.
A broken donut. Hey, we're making do with what we got, right?
Yeah.
Yep.
No matter what they use to slide on, these families are here to make some fun snow day memories. Are you guys going one at a time, or are you all doing it as a family?
We should probably do it one at a time, I'm
but
saying.
I think this one
Maybe
would
like
hold
two at a
of
time.
us.
We're going to say TBD. To be determined.
Yeah.
And you can't forget furry friends either. For many, this is a go-to spot.
We come every time we can, so I think this is like number 4 or 5 of like enough snow to come out.
And the bitter cold isn't stopping Simone Blagg. In fact, she says she doesn't feel it.
I'm very hot. Like I've got on enough clothes that I could take a layer off. I'm sweating.
That is called layering up correctly.
Blagg says this snow is different than previous ones because it's much drier, and she says that makes a big difference on the sleds.
This dry snow, like you get stuck a lot more. If it's like wetter, slipperier, you can like go further, faster.
Regardless of speed, she and her kids are here for a good time, not a long time.
Woo!
And a day in the snow calls for some hot cocoa.
Is that in the plans for later today?
For sure.
Yes.
It doesn't happen too often, but we do like the snow.
And who says adults can't have a little fun too?
Oh yeah, this is so much better than 2 years ago.
In Little Rock, Brooke Buckner, THV11 News.
Yeah, lots of fun to be had in the snow tonight, as long as you're being safe. With many kids already off for the holiday, it meant extra time outside.
Brooke, not the only one making snow angels. Over in North Little Rock, Officer Tommy Norman showed off his skills. Have a look.
It's 11 degrees out here. It's snowing in North Little Rock, Arkansas, but I'm going to do a snow angel. Happy Martin Luther King Day. Everybody's in their house. Nobody's on the streets, as you shouldn't be, because the roads are nasty out here. But here I go. Come on over. Snow angel.
I gotta get out of here.
Okay. Get closer. I want you to see me doing the snow. Okay. Here you go. You ready?
Yes, you gonna be cold.
Okay. Get closer.
You ain't cold.
Okay, hold on. Let me see if I did an angel. I did it!
Applause, Officer Norman.
All right, well, we're just under an hour from the first contest in the 2024 presidential election.
Now, Iowa Republicans face another challenge ahead of tonight's caucuses: brutal winter weather. Given the weekend blizzard and cold today, the outcome is riding on who shows up and which candidate has the most loyal supporters on what could be the coldest caucus night in Iowa history. But the latest Des Moines Register poll shows former President Donald Trump with a nearly 30-point lead, and Nikki Haley and Ron DeSantis fighting for second place.
I think it's a pretty mixed bag like we see in the polls. I think you definitely have that committed group that is still for President Trump all the way. But I think there's definitely interest in other candidates like Governor DeSantis and Ambassador Haley.
There are more than 1,600 individual caucuses held statewide tonight, restricted to registered Republicans only. Newcomers are welcome but must register with the GOP on site.
And then after tonight's contest, all eyes head to New Hampshire. That's where the Granite State will be next to cast their votes in the first primary of the election season. It's January 23rd, followed by South Carolina. That'll be the Democrats on February 3rd. Nevada, February 6th and 8th between the two parties. Then back to South Carolina again on the 24th. That's when Republicans there will cast their votes. Michigan heads to the primaries February 27th. Idaho and Missouri Republicans will caucus March 2nd. North Dakota, March 4th. But then the big one, 14 states, including Arkansas, as you'll see there on that map. That's Super Tuesday. That's also the date that we'll hear the results of the Iowa Democratic Caucus.
And ahead of the votes tonight in Iowa, Arkansas Congressman Rick Crawford endorsing former President Donald Trump for the 2024 election. Crawford represents the 1st Congressional District of Arkansas, covering most of the eastern part of the state. He was the only Arkansas representative to object to the results of the 2020 election.
We are going to take a quick break here. When we come back, we'll have a look at the roads again here in Arkansas, but also some of the damage that's happened after storms across the whole country. Tom?
Yeah, the snow has stopped falling, but if you must be out tonight, make sure you layer up multiple layers. As temperatures drop off into the single digits by tomorrow morning, wind chill values may be below zero. Trust the team that's focused on you.
take care of yourself, drive with some caution.
Bridging together our experience and knowledge
To your safety and preparedness.
We're trying to get as much information to you as we possibly can.
Weather information that's important to you.
Take a deep breath and go, okay, what's the thing I need to do now?
Our top of mind, not only the residents here, but we were so concerned for school kids. We kept a lot of people safe yesterday.
We put you first. So make THV11 your only choice for weather.
Community is everything to me. Community means support, but it also means investment. And so I want to tell those untold stories, and I want to give you guys a voice because you're the community and you're why I'm here.
Watch Faith Woodard weeknights on THV11. So, what matters to you? Weather you can rely on.
Chances of an isolated shower this morning. Stay home if you don't have to be on the road.
Information you can trust.
With exactly what you need to know this morning.
We've been covering this $1 million project since the beginning.
Local people prepare.
What impact do you think it will have on Arkansans?
Choose the news that checks all the boxes. Choose THV11, your home for what matters to you.
I'm moving on. Got nothing left to say. Let's be on my way. Best of luck. I'm moving on. I'm moving on.
Thank you for joining us tonight at 10. I'm Rolly Hoyt. We looked into it. We got them to change part of that policy. Let's begin tonight with breaking news. This as misinformation runs widespread.
Watch Rolly Hoyt now at 10, weeknights on THV11.
Welcome back. You're getting a live look at the roads right now thanks to Weather Force 11. They are near McCain Mall in North Little Rock right now.
Crews still working to make sure they are as clear and as safe as possible before everyone needs to get back to work tomorrow.
And we're going to check back in with Sarah Herbakowitz in a few minutes. She's the one who's co-piloting there in Weather Force 11. We'll also get a first look at some of the winter weather that's impacting other parts of the country. Just like many of us here at home, keeping warm has become a top priority because of this Arctic air.
Yeah, much of the country started feeling the deep freeze over the weekend, leaving several cities experiencing record-breaking conditions. In Oregon, one man is reported dead after strong winds sent a tree crashing through a home. Meanwhile, in places like Maine, residents are battling through extreme flooding issues. And back down south, Texas is keeping a close eye on the state's power grid, hoping it can withstand the harsh weather.
We feel very good about the status of the Texas power grid and ERCOT to be able to effectively and successfully ensure that the power is going to stay on throughout the entirety of this winter storm episode.
As for folks here in Arkansas, crews have been working hard to clear the roadways. Temperatures are still expected to drop overnight, so you're encouraged to bundle up and stay warm.
Well, snow has come to an end. The winter storm warnings and the winter weather advisories are all done. Let's find out what the results look like. And of course, the areas in northern and north central Arkansas coming away with most of the snow. St. Joe and Searcy County. It's these most mountainous, the higher elevations coming away with most of it. Marshall and Searcy County, Melbourne, Izard County, Whitspring, Searcy County, Vender, Newton County, all 6+ inches of snow. In central Arkansas, Heber Springs, 3.5. A little mountainous there. Mayflower, Conway, Benton, Little Rock Airport, all recording 3 inches. And when the warning was issued, and warning criteria is for an event, a winter event that could provide snow 3 inches plus. I would say the winter storm warning verified for central Arkansas. Now we can move along, right? Let's talk about warmer conditions, sunshine, balmy forecast. Nope, it's getting even colder, unfortunately. Skies are going to clear out eventually, and northern sections might clear out tonight, and that means some places could fall below 0, and we're looking at some record cold possibilities. I'll show you that here in just a moment. Pipe bursting temperatures continue. By all means, keep streaming those faucets, both hot and cold, all right? Another system later on this week, Thursday time period, could bring another round of some mainly light precipitation. We'll get on that here tomorrow. But for tonight, wind alerts, we have got wind chill advisory in effect for the whole state. It's going to feel between 0 and 10 below statewide tonight. And when you wake up tomorrow morning, 7 o'clock, Scott Covert should be here. And we're going to see that feels like number below 0, well below 0 from Clinton North, 0 and just above in the metro area, and slightly above over southern Arkansas. So the air temperature dropping off into the single digits and low teens with that wind is going to feel near 0 or below tomorrow morning when you start your day. And the numbers, these are your forecast lows. We're not going to get above freezing for our forecast lows until possibly early next week. 8 degrees tomorrow morning, 10 Wednesday. That system on Thursday with some light rain or some freezing rain possible, mainly over northeast Arkansas. When I'm talking about record low temperatures, how about this? Tomorrow morning, Little Rock, a forecast low of 8, 7 is the record, 5 on Wednesday, and the forecast low is 10. So we're going to be in line to at least get close to some records. And then during the day, we'll warm up with some sunshine tomorrow. That's going to help melt off quite a bit of it, although 26 degrees is the high, 39 on Wednesday, a nice melting there, and even Thursday with a high of 40. But behind that system Thursday, temperatures drop back off. Let's walk you through the timing of when I expect to see skies clear out. Tomorrow morning, 8 o'clock, sunshine should be in full force across central Arkansas and for the rest of the state. By Tuesday afternoon, we'll keep that sunshine in Wednesday, although tomorrow night into early Wednesday with clear skies, temperatures will plummet with the snow on the ground. Little chance of precipitation Thursday. Here's the way it looks as we head through. Okay, my forecast information updated and took it out, but there is a chance of precipitation on Thursday. Tonight, we're going to have breezy conditions once again, northwest wind with a low of 8 in Little Rock, 26 tomorrow, sunshine, and as that sun hits the roadways and the asphalt, we should melt off quite a bit of this snow. And then the next 7 days look like this with a slow warm up as we head into Thursday. A little possible weather system moving through with very small chances right now. And then by the time we hit the weekend, more cold air coming our way. Back to you.
All right, Tom, thank you. Sarah Hrbakowicz is out there on the roads for us in Weather Force 11, safely checking out the latest conditions for us.
Yeah, that snow might stick around on the ground for a few more days with temperatures so low. But Sarah, right now, how are things working after RDOT spent the day clearing some areas?
Yeah, you can definitely tell where they've cleared areas, especially on the highway. So for a lot of people who are trying to get to work tomorrow morning, those main stretches you can probably count on at least having one lane pretty clear. But as RDOT mentioned earlier today, you're going to want to be careful about those exit on and off ramps because they weren't able to get through all of those. And like Tom was saying, a lot of that is going to freeze tonight. And you got to be careful of that black ice. So now I want to welcome you to McCain in North Little Rock. We're trying to hit a lot of those main roads that might not just be the interstates because a lot of people will be traveling on these as well. You can see it's white on the road. It's not great, not the worst, but as you're texting everyone and asking who's seen the roads, if you should try it yourself, maybe hold off if you can. If you really need to get to something like work tomorrow, I think it's going to be manageable. We're managing it here in Weather Force, but you're going to want to be careful on the road for people who might not have four-wheel drive. Another tip that I've been saying tonight, make sure you clean off your car. I'm seeing a lot of people who have not cleared off their back windshields, and then a lot of people get super close behind them because everyone is going slow, nobody's being patient, and that's when problems arise. We saw earlier someone trying to take a turn a little too soon, and they ended up, we had seen them after this happened, but someone was had been stuck off the side of the road. So you want to really be careful, and if you hit that snow, not to panic. This is the road in McCain a little further down, pretty clear right here on one side of the road. So it's going to be kind of hit or miss on some of these more side streets. McCain's still pretty much a main drag, but you want to be a little more careful. So we're going to continue to check in on the roads later on tonight as you kind of plan your day for tomorrow, but be aware some of those side streets, even some of the main roads like McCain, aren't going to be as great as those interstates. For now, I'll send it back to you guys.
Trust the team that's focused on you.
Take care of yourself, drive with some caution.
Bridging together our experience and knowledge
to your safety and preparedness.
We're trying to get as much information to you as we possibly can.
Weather information that's important to you.
Take a deep breath and go, okay, what's the thing I need to do now?
Our top of mind, not only the residents here, but we were so concerned for school kids. We kept a lot of people safe yesterday.
We put you first, so make THV11 your only choice for weather.
Community is everything to me. Community means support, but it also means investment. And so I want to tell those untold stories, and I want to give you guys a voice because you're the community and you're why I'm here.
Watch Faith Woodard weeknights on THV11. So, what matters to you? Weather you can rely on.
Chances of an isolated shower this morning. Stay home if you don't have to be on the road.
Information you can trust.
With exactly what you need to know this morning.
We've been covering this $1 million project since the beginning.
Local people who care.
What impact do you think it will have on Arkansans?
Choose the news that checks all the boxes. Choose THV11, your home for what matters to you.
I'm moving on. Hey, got nothing left to say. Let's be on my way. Best of luck. I'm moving on up. I'm moving on.
Thank you for joining us tonight at 10. I'm Rolly Hoyt. We looked into it. We got them to change part of that policy. Let's begin tonight with breaking news. This as misinformation runs widespread.
Watch Rolly Hoyt now at 10, weeknights on THV11.
Well, today marks the birthday of Martin Luther King Jr. The civil rights icon would have been 95 years old. His birthday is a federal holiday designated as a national day of service.
Where nationwide, everyone is encouraged to give back and volunteer. At the University of South Carolina, more than 160 students did just that, volunteering for service activities. President Joe Biden visited Philadelphia, where he helped support people suffering food insecurity. And speaking at an NAACP event in South Carolina, Vice President Kamala Harris said there is still work to do to achieve Dr. King's dream.
We are witnessing a full-on attack on hard-fought, hard-won freedoms. Consider, in states across our nation, extremists attack the sacred freedom to vote.
And while cities and towns across the country held events like MLK Day parades and community cleanups, bad weather in many parts forced some events to be canceled, including here in Little Rock.
But there's an interesting connection between MLK Day and the Happy Birthday song that'll have you listening a little closer next time you sing the tune. Verify's Ariane Till is on the beat.
You've probably heard Stevie Wonder's wildly popular song, Happy Birthday. A viral tweet says Wonder's song was written to promote the movement to make MLK Day a federal holiday. Verify viewer Erica asked if this is true. So let's verify using these sources. Stevie Wonder was heavily involved in the movement to make Martin Luther King Jr. Day a national holiday.
Please join me urging the U.S. Senate and your senators in particular to vote yes on S-400, a bill to make Dr. Martin Luther King Jr.'s birthday a national holiday.
Wonder gave that speech on August 27, 1983, during a rally for the 20th anniversary of the March on Washington. Following the speech, Wonder sang Happy Birthday, the fifth track on side 2 of his 1980 album, Hotter Than July.
And in truth, our hearts will sing, thanks to Martin Luther King, happy birthday!
The original vinyl sleeve for the album directly advocated for King's birthday to become a national holiday. And according to Motown Records, the record label which released the song, Happy Birthday became the signature song of the MLK Day campaign. So we can verify, yes, Stevie Wonder did write the song Happy Birthday to support making Martin Luther King Jr.'s birthday a national holiday. With your Verify, I'm Ariane Till.
Final check of your forecast tonight. It's going to get colder. Tomorrow morning when you wake up could be around 8 in Little Rock. Wind chill values below 0. Hopefully the sunshine tomorrow afternoon and Wednesday will melt away a lot of what's on the roadways, but black ice and refreezing because temperatures at night drop back well below freezing. We will warm up a little by Thursday with another chance of precipitation and then cool off again by the weekend.
I gotta pull some blankets out of the closet or something so I can stay toasty in my bed and on my couch, at least for a little while until we come back here.
That's right. And we will be back here both digitally and on the air coming up tonight at 10. We appreciate you joining us here during this football game. We'll have updates on that as well. And be sure to stick around. Plenty of great content on our digital platforms after we go off the air here in about 15 seconds. Thanks for joining us on THV11 Plus.